Hi friends, this is Sheikh. Thank you for joining me on this video. In this video, I'll show you how to make consistent returns week after week, month after month from a small to medium portfolio. So let me start with a quick example. Please look at this JP Morgan security. I have had this position for 3 months or so. I made a little bit over $1,000, $1,052 as unrealized profit. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, I make money in this account in 3 different ways. One is the unrealized profits, $1,052. I get dividends. Also, I make money by covered calls. So that's a strategy that I'm going to show you to make consistent returns week after week, month after month. So please take a mental snapshot of this number, $1,052, right? And again, this is unrealized profit. I haven't booked this profit yet. So what you see here is a list of all the trades that I made in this account. I have to keep a trading journal like this just because Robinhood does not give a good way to keep track of all the trades that we make. So if you see here, I've made almost $3,000 just by selling covered calls. The reason I'm stressing on the covered calls is I seldom buy options. Mostly it's all selling covered calls or selling puts. So I've made a little. It's almost close to $3,000, right? But since our focus is on JP Morgan, let's see how much money I made just by selling covered calls on that JP Morgan security. You see here, I made $2,541. Remember the other number? $1,052. So $1,052 was the unrealized profit that I made. But with the same security during the same time period, I made $2,541, and this is realized profit. And if you look at all my trades, I started this position most probably on the 428 itself because normally sell covered calls on the same day buy a security. I made $212 on that first trade itself, and if you see over time, each trade is not bringing me much money, right? I mean, it's sometimes $100 on a good week, it's $500. Mostly it's between $100 and $200, right? And altogether it brought me $2,541. So think of it, if you have a large enough portfolio position, I tell all my friends, I think of it like buying a house as an investment property. You're not living in it, right? And you're just holding it long term, thinking that it will appreciate in value. It might not. And when it eventually appreciates in value, you sell it and you book your profit. And that's the only time when you make your profit, right? But how about renting your property? Why not rent it? Yeah, there are little bit risks involved in renting, but in general, it will bring you consistent monthly income. So selling covered calls on a security that you already own is kind of the same. Why? Because yes, there is a little bit risk involved in selling a covered call, because well, your out of the money covered call can become in the money and you can lose that position. But then if you don't want to get a huge premium, you can sell it way out of the money and make this. So normally I do sell it way out of the money at 85 to 95% probability of success, and hence that's why you see this smaller premiums for every week. But 4 months in, I made 2,500 realized profit, which is way almost 2.5 times of my unrealized profit. So that's what I wanted to convey in this video, that if you hold a large enough portfolio, please consider selling covered calls. Also, I do want to mention that I am no financial expert. This is an education and entertainment channel. So please do your investments at your own risks. So guys, to really drive my point home, let me use a compound interest calculator and show you where this covered call strategy can take you 10 years down the line. So I'm taking some assumptions. We'll invest $30,000, and as I showed you, I make a little more than $500 a month, but let's assume that we make $500 in covered calls. So that is going to be a monthly contribution with which we can buy more stocks. Length of time 10 years, and let's keep the interest rate as a little conservative 8% because we are still holding the stocks, so you're still going to get returns from it. JP Morgan does give more returns than 8%, but let's keep it conservative and keep it at 8%. And I'm not going to put any variance range. Just to recap the numbers, our initial investment is $30,000. We make approximately $500 using covered calls, and length of time we kept as 10 years, and estimated interest rate, or in other words, the growth that your stock's going to have is 8%. And let's compound it and find out where this can take us. Can you believe that? In 10 years, you will have $151,000 in your trading account just by doing this strategy. Now let me show you. You just hold the stock, you get the same appreciation of your stock, 8%. But since we are not making any money using covered calls, you're not doing that strategy. You bought an investment home, you're not renting it, in other words. And let's see where it takes us. 64,000. That's almost a difference of $85,000, guys. You're missing out on almost $85,000 by not doing covered calls. This is not to say that you're going to make exactly this much money, because sometimes you might make, there's a good chance that you'll make more, because there is dividends that we did not consider, and you can buy stocks which appreciates more, right? Because you're making this $500. Well, you can buy a Tesla with it, Tesla stock with it, not a Tesla car, a Tesla stock with it, or some crazy stock where you think you can get much more return, because this is the money you made, right? You can be a little bit risky with it. Look at the returns, 151. That's almost $85,000 more that you're going to make with this covered call strategy. Hope you're convinced by my explanation. Before we conclude this video, let's quickly have a summary of my portfolio. So the day was pretty choppy. If you look here, for most of the day, account was down. At one point, it was down to 65,000. But towards the end of the day, it kind of went back to where it started the day with. So ended the day green. In total, like $200 gain for the day. So the account is sitting at $67,000. For the week, I'm up by 1.2%. This month was quite good. So for the month, including unrealized gains, plus dividends, plus covered calls, I'm up by approximately $4,000, 6.69%. For the last 3 months, we are up by $15,000, 29%, 29.62%. For the year, up by 23.7%, and overall up by 29.5%. So that's all I had for today, folks. Thank you for staying with me through this video. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Wish you a beautiful rest of the day. Stay safe. Ciao.